Hey, welcome back to another episode of our Arctic Survival series. We've got quite a lot of things planned this episode. Last time we finished off the witch farm, and this time we're going to continue on our industrial district over here that's controlled by one of the Vex Association members. One of the farms we're doing right now actually is a basalt and cobblestone generator, because with a cobblestone generator, we have a lot of materials we need for building, observers and pistons and stuff, and for stone because we have essentially infinite fuel with blaze rods and the coal. So all we need now is to get these farms built, get the area set up, and we might even look into a concrete generator near the end of the episode. So let's get started. Alright, for this build, the first thing we need is actually a layer of non-destructible blocks around the actual site itself. So I've placed a block of obsidian here. This is where the TNT will fall from the duper, and it will explode and destroy these like an entire column of the cobblestone and basalt. So with these blocks in place, another thing we need to do here is actually to go and place some obsidian lined up here, because this will essentially make sure that all of the blocks stay inside here and don't get pushed out. This will have to be 5 tall, so 3, 4, 5. So then this itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, I might have done an extra. This is actually our stopping pillar. And just like that, our cobblestone generator is complete. We have different layers. I've blocked it with dirt for the moment, but let's just open this up so you can see. We have basalt generating at the bottom, because we have soul sand and a block of blue ice, and then we have cobblestone for the rest. So now we have to make this actually move. So every time this trapdoor goes, it sends a tick. Yep. So that's the system we're using. Now we're just gonna set up our hopper clock right around here. Yeah, so this looks basically correct. We just gotta store up a storage system. And this cobblestone and basalt generator is complete. Oh, I also need to find a way to turn it off, which we can do like so, by just powering this. So, like if we leave this on here, it'll stay off. And if we turn this on, it'll just resume normal functions. And there we go. Piglin acquired. I'll just give him a name tag. There we go. So we've done a bit more experimenting, and one thing we've discovered is that sometimes he'll try to throw blocks up when he drops them, especially if I am AFKing up there. So a fix we can do is to have this system here, and that way, when this shoves into him, now he's not suffocating because it's transparent blocks. What you can see now here is he can still pick up blocks through the honey blocks, but what we've just done is ensure that if he tries to throw up at us, it won't do anything, because the block will still be stuck. So what we can do now is activate the system and give it a test. So main thing to AFK and watch for is whether he still manages to throw stuff onto the pressure plate, which he shouldn't be able to. So we just have to toggle this twice, put everything away, toggle this twice. First one drops it on him, you can pick it up. Second one drops it to refresh. Oh, I didn't hit it. And there we go. So now we want to make sure that whatever he throws stuff, it always goes into the hopper. So this is going fine. The main question is, what happens if I stand over here? So it's still going to try to throw it to me? Okay, so he should be throwing it at me, but it should be instantly going into the hopper. Pick up my glass and my slab here. Okay, and now the other test is what happens if I am at the AFK platform. So if I'm just chilling up here, we want to see, does he still throw it onto the pressure plate? And as you can see, the answer is no. So we have now finished our storage center and our general mob farm here. It's going to be a little bit loud, so main thing to know is basically we've finished up this area, made it look a lot better. I'm going to make this part of a much larger building, like a skyscraper here. You can see how huge this section is. Now, what you see here is basically, if these lights are on, it means I'm collecting the item. So the items are going in the chest. But if I don't want to collect the item, for example, I don't really care about spectral arrows. Just put some stuff away. I don't care about spectral arrows. I can flick this lever, then it'll go out through a hopper system where it is thrown into flames here. And some of these things I don't want. So like coal, I have way too many, so I'll not collect those. Gravel I'm fine with. I might turn this off later. And nether bricks, stuff like that. So we've also got over here the piglin. We've shifted him over to put him into the wall. That way we can actually see him and actually interact with him. So you can see here, if we flick this twice, this will start up the farm. But currently we don't have any gold, which I'll remedy in a bit. You've already seen how it works with the gold ingots falling down, being aligned with the honey blocks, and lets the piglin trade for them. And when he drops them right on his feet, which are taken out through a hopper and taken up a dropper tower. Now, you might be wondering why there is a comparator here, and it's because in the past we used a trapdoor, but the trapdoor kept getting activated by the redstone from the dropper tower. So this just keeps him his height, it kind of shoves him up a little bit, that way he can actually pick up the golden ingots. And on the left side you can kind of see all the items that we're not collecting. So that would be the rotten flesh, the blaze rods, and the bones, all three of which we can get from other sources, and here we'll just clog up the farm for literally no benefit whatsoever. Now here we have the shulkers for our obsidian, our nether quartz, and of course gold ingots. And then we have this switch here. Let's decide whether we want the farm to be operational or not. So if this light is on, bartering is happening. If it's not on, then we're collecting gold ingots. So then we go back here and we can actually see this is where a lot of the meat of the operation is taking place. So this is the dropper tower. Let me just fly a little bit further away so it's not super noisy. So this here is the dropper tower. This thing with a lot of the observers sends the items up. This is our slime block shoving system, which has been here for a very long time. And then we have, of course, the blue ice going across the hoppers and the item sorters. Now, just for aesthetics purposes, you have these rows of lanterns here, and this is just aesthetics. So you can just see when items are going in. It looks really cool when you AFK, so that's the only reason I kept it here. Now, one last thing is, of course, we have miscellaneous items stored here, as well as some of our building blocks for the center here. And any object that is overflowing will obviously get thrown away, or it will just be instantly drained away into this. So yeah, that is our farm here. Oh, and if you're wondering about why are these hoppers covered by composters, that's because it reduces lag just a little bit. So you can see any of my hoppers are able to be covered with these composters are covered with the composters. It just helps reduce lag. So yeah, that's our storage system. I'm really proud. I didn't even look at any guides for this. It was just a item center I came up with. But again, yeah, shout out to ENX04 for this farm itself. Very, very handy. And yeah, we're gonna do a lot more AFKing, etc. And we should be good. I just need a ton of nether quartz and a ton of obsidian, which we're collecting over here. I'm not even that worried about with the skeleton skulls because we have way too many of them. So yeah, that's what's going on here. And we'll move on to our next project after this. We are back with our newfound stacks of gravel. We've made a ton of concrete, which I've turned into actual concrete, like away from, like, you know, from the powder. We've used the cobblestone generator and the basalt generator to basically have a very quick way of acquiring this concrete, because we just have to right click and use an auto clicker. But what we're going to do now is finish up with our drown farm here, and we're going to add our SCP building overhead. Okay, now we have the second floor laid out, which is looking fine. We're going to add a lot of carpet. Oh, I was actually just going to go look for these guys, but we've actually found villagers here. I was trying to find a location for a build or something, a secret, and these guys just showed up. That means I don't have to actually find their outpost. I can just find them. Okay, let's go grab them real quick. Okay. We now have all of them in a boat. So I actually just saw a cat run over here trying to get away from me. And it went up the ladder. And if you go into free cam, you'll see that's just not one cat. There's actually two cats stuck up here. Because when they go over here trying to run from you, they try and jump to get off of this chest and onto the cobblestone. And when they jump, they keep going higher and higher until they get stuck, which is really goofy. Hello there, and welcome back. We've been building for a very, very long time, but it's now time to show off what we've done, which is to finish off the Drown Farm area, which we have titled Lord Drownenstein's Mansion. So, let's go show you it. You can already see it over there from a distance. It was built on a bit of the hill over there. You can kind of see where there is a new building. Now, for the construction of this, we used a lot of white concrete, gray concrete, light gray concrete, a lot of iron and the like. So you can see it's a very modern themed building, which makes sense because it's like a laboratory for the scientists over there. So let's head over and take a look. We don't actually have a footpath leading up to here because according to the Vex Foundation, they don't need a footpath because, you know, they can fly. As you can see, we have a landing pad right here. We have a very nice entrance gate with just some extra cargo laying around, a lot of snow over everything. We have a little check-in desk. Currently, no one's here. You can see it's a Vex Foundation access. We use the same netherite templates. If you go inside, we have our little entrance room. You can see we've done a lot of work for the ceiling specifically. Here's just a lot of workstations and stuff, just extra building materials. And you can see we have a lot of our pillager friends here. This here is Alex, it looks like. If you're wondering if the light is kind of dim, it's supposed to be dim. We've purposely used these exposed copper bulbs just to make sure we have this specific vibe. Now, each of these, we have containment cells. We have containment units 1131 here, also Vex Foundation access, with a small, very modest little lab here. And you can see inside, we have white foxes, each of them named uniquely. And fun fact, a lot of people know about the dinner bone trick, but if you actually name a fox or anything Grum, it does the same thing. And the pillagers didn't know this, so they called this guy Grummerbone, which he looks exactly the same. So over here, we have our friend. This is Iron here, an Iron Golem, as you can see. And then we have a lot of skulls laying around of the mobs he's slain with a flickering ceiling, because I thought that looks cool. And about the ceiling, you can see we've used a lot of these smooth stone slabs and iron trapdoors to give this kind of effect. And fun fact, you could actually crawl around up there, which we'll show you in a bit. Here's another friend. This is still Alex. We've come over here to our main hall right here. This is where we have the elevator, the water elevator leading down to the drowned. We'll head down there and there in a bit. But you can see we have containment unit 1129 here, where they were testing zombie villagers. And there's one right there. This guy's name, I think, is Hal. Yeah, it's Hal. And then if we head up, I'll show you a little secret later. We're actually in the main living area. We have a lot of paintings. We have a museum. You can see we have Thur's core, only the worthy can lift it. We have Dragon's Head, which is the head of a dragon. Duh. Then ancient debris, remnants of a bygone era, which is pretty cool. Lodestone. Okay, losers, if you get lost again, you know, because the pillagers just get lost. Candles of canned. Candles that would never go out, and they don't go out. We have mysterious button. Push it. No balls. Last words. We have amethyst, which is treasured by a laze and stolen by some pillagers. We have a pot. I also smell small pot because we have another one. A pot. You want pot? I sell big pot. And it's a big pot. We also have poppy, which for some reason iron golems drop. We have bamboo, which is literally just bamboo. And copper flower, which is the sacred flower of Lord Drownenstein. I couldn't fit Drownenstein on here, so it just says Lord Drownen. Here we have a lot of paintings with their labels. This is called A Reaction to Taco Bell by Diarrhea. I think that's what it looks like. We have Modern Art 42 by Trush Me Bro. And we have Aw Man by Lieutenant Sparkling. We have Gnaw Man by Captain Mundane. We have Modern Art 69 by, again, Trush Me Bro, a very famous artist. And of course, Arctic Sunset by, well, someone. Their name's been redacted. So, with that out of the way, let's go over here. We have a giant stash of emerald blocks, which are looted from villagers. And of course, above this, we have Lord Drownenstein's offices. And here he is, Lord Drownenstein. This is actually a patrol captain, which we've liberated from his violent tendencies. Now he's over here in his office. Nice place for him to stand, where he can, you know, just stand here and gaze out over his enemies in the distance, which is the allays and the researchers. So if you head back over here, he has a nice painting, little office space, some bamboo. So if we head back down, we'll show you the library here. We have an ender chest just for storage. A nice little library here, pretty cozy, pretty simplistic, modern design. Nothing really fancy about it. And we have our friend Davy over here. And a little place for them just to sit out in their off time and just enjoy the scene, which is very beautiful. You look out through the windows. Wait until you see with the aurora borealis that show up. Those are actually amazing. So, with this out of the way, we head back down. You can see the ceilings here are also a little bit different from what I used to do, because I usually just put lights around here. So we actually try and make them look good. Anyways, if we head back down, we actually have a little button here for a trapdoor. So if I open this, I go down. This actually, get myself in here, right? This takes me up actually into like the overhead right here. So you can see you can actually car around the entire base. Over there, you can head over to where the zombie is, but it's nothing fancy over there. This is where stuff gets interesting. So if you head over into this area over here, it actually leads out into a very specific little area where we work on the lights, because the lighting here is, of course, controlled by redstone. So this is a little, essentially like a maintenance area. So if this breaks or anything, this allows me to head up here and just fix it. We also might make it go out into a lot of the containment chambers, but we'll look into that in the future. So, as you can see, this space here is also like completely safe, because literally no mobs can possibly get up here. So if I need to AFK here or anything, this is a good place to just chill. It's also just really cozy, because you see a lot of the like the action movies, you know, crawling around up here, looking down and dropping down, and you can do that right here, because if you press this button, you can drop right down. So, with this out of the way, let's head back down and we'll show you again the drown farm. There may be a few updates we've done to it. So, we drop right down here. This is, of course, the main containment facility that everything's built on top of. We have containment unit 914, which came really early compared to the others, and containment unit 913. So again, we have all the Vex Foundation access here. So if you head inside of here, we have very nice, kind of like a room, just like an airlock, essentially, for everyone to get up into their PPE. And we have extra just loot in these lockers here. More access cards here for us to use. If you head over here, this is our research subject. This is Mavis, one of the allays that the researchers have found. We have Dr. Hammer and Dr. Boris. And to continue the experiment, you can see these allays, they do have wings. So what I've been doing is collecting feathers from villages or other like loot places. So, you know, not from farms and stuff. And then we stash them in here. And the lore around this is basically, we actually have books written about each of the subjects. But the TLDR here is that they want to essentially use this creature, Mavis, the allay, to grant some of their wishes and essentially give them immortality. So that's what they're working on researching here. So we have a nice little workstation here. Now, if we head out, oh yeah, if you're wondering, this is actually has a sweet berry bush because it prevents the pillagers from ever padding out. So, back out here. This is the drown farm. And I've explained this quite a bit, but we're just going to briefly go over it again in case you ever want to build this in your own world. So basically, you can make the zombie spawner any way you want. Pretty simple. It's just the 4 blocks out in every direction. I go 2 to 3 blocks up and then 2 to 3 blocks down. At least I'd say 3 blocks down and then 2 blocks up. Don't forget to put a slab on here. Essentially, all of the water currents takes them down into this chamber here, where they rise up in the bubble column until they get to this, exactly where I am now, and then there's no more bubbles. So once they get there, I mean, this is just aesthetic. It doesn't actually let them go all the way up. But when they appear out, all these zombies will get stuck in here. And because zombies can't swim, even though both zombies and drowned want to pass to that villager, since zombies can't swim, they'll get stuck here until they turn into drowned, in which case they will know the villager is in the water because the villager is in water here. As you can see, we can't use turtle eggs here because the farm will only work at night if you use turtle eggs. And if the villager is not inside of water that's connected to the rest of the chamber, then they also won't pass to him unless it's day. So with this system, all of the drowned come up, try to swim to him, but get shot up the soul sand elevators and sent all the way up to here. And since we have, again, problems with pathing, the snow golems give them a little shove to push them into the correct channels where they drop down into our kill chamber, where they're all one hit. And then we have a sorting system with copper ingots and rotten flesh. Right? So everything else just gets shot out through here and trash falls into lava. Now we also have our kelp farm. We've discussed this before, and our nether wart, a little mini nether wart farm. So yeah, this is our Vex Foundation headquarters here in this area of the world. So you might be wondering why I said in this area of the world. Well, we actually plan on doing similar things. Oh yeah, this is a beacon over here where we have our effects. So we actually plan on doing something similar to the rest of our farms. So this being, for example, the witch farm and the cobblestone basalt generator. We're going to turn all of that into a very, very nice headquarters for the Vex Foundation out there in the swamp. But this place is run by Lord Drownenstein up here, because, you know, drowned. We're actually going to use a different build and a different palette, and of course, different lore, which we'll get into when we get back to making that area look better. So yeah, I think with all of this done, this is pretty much a very good place to end the episode. We've done a lot of builds recently, and you know, this looks pretty nice. And it looks better when it's not snowing, but this is very nice ambience because you can actually see the serpent skull over here, as well as our research base here with all the rest of the allays. But I think it's actually time to go up to our book where we all started and take a look at what we've done in these past episodes. So let's see. Take the book. We have done the house on the hill. We have the lava wall for the drowned. We have gotten netherite and a froglight farm and a blaze farm, and we've also done our nether farm for the Nether Fortress mobs. So with this, we've actually completed all of these tasks and more. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do next, but when I've made up my mind, we'll be back. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and take care.